Yo guys, it's Mike from Chess Lifestyle, and yeah, I wanted to actually just film some thoughts about my last game. For anyone who doesn't know, who hasn't been following the streams, basically I've been playing in the English Championships. I kind of signed up last minute, thinking probably it's a good idea to get some practice before playing 18 rounds in a row in the summer. I'm playing in the Prague Open and Dortmund Open as usual. So yeah, basically I just played round 5. And I was on 2 out of 4, and I was playing this junior. I've actually had 4. Well, this is my 5th Indian junior in a row, but okay, they're not like, like the real 1400 Indians, like 1900, 2000 Indians from the UK. But still, well, I mean, it's tough, right? It's tough. But yeah, I was on 2 out of 4 and playing really well. Yeah, and basically I wanted to just reflect on this last game. It's really interesting. I think I'll pull up like a board here, and you guys can see the position. But basically, I had a moment where I felt like my opponent had missed an idea of mine, and this was his knight b3 move. And he admitted after the game that yeah, he had overlooked this somehow and allowed this idea. So I played knight b5. Knight b3. I also thought queen d1 was the best move. Apparently queen f4 somehow there's some compensation. But he played queen d1. I took the rook. He took my rook. I took his bishop back, so that's all forced. And then in this position, I had plans. If he had taken my knight in the corner, I would have taken on f5, and I thought I had a great position. That's apparently the best move in the position. But instead, he surprised me by taking on g6. And at first I thought, okay, I'm just gonna have to take back h takes. But then I thought, actually, like, why can't I just play knight ac2? And I was trying to calculate the different lines, like what happens if rook takes f7, what happens if pawn takes h7, what happens if pawn takes f7. And I kind of just thought that, okay, maybe he's just playing this to try and get away with it, right? He's just playing this in-between move to stop me from playing g takes f5 and hoping that I will chicken out from playing knight c2. And yeah, just hope that I would just take back h takes g6, and he has a slightly better version of this endgame. And I mean, I saw some lines of this endgame, like I was calculating h takes g6 and then wondering, is there some idea of like queen c5 check queen e3, or maybe I should play like knight c7, knight c2 and knight d4 on that outpost. So I had some different ideas here. But I decided to, take the piece up. I decided to play knight ac2. And yeah, he ended up taking on h7. I actually didn't think this was the best idea. And I was trying to work out the difference between king h8 and king h7. I thought both were promising, but I thought king takes h7 was just a bit better. And then he surprised me with bishop takes c4. So I had overlooked this sacrifice. I'd only been considering like this bishop. I mean, I considered a few different ideas, but my main line was bishop h5 in that position. And I'd actually calculated it well, but ultimately, yeah, it doesn't matter if he's got a better move, right? If he's got bishop takes c4. So I missed this move, and it's actually kind of sad because I then played king g6, I think, with the idea of controlling the h5 square, which I thought was vital. Otherwise, the queen comes into h5. Apparently, I've got king g8 instead, and that's like some miraculous defense after queen h5, bishop g4, which I'd not seen. And the point is that after king g6, it doesn't work because basically queen f3. And I thought I was going to have this amazing game where I can basically take on g5. I don't know if I had to take immediately, I can't remember. But basically I could take on g5. The king marches up the board, and then somehow I control all the important squares. And I don't get mated, and even my king might even get active, get to h3, and I've even got some mating ideas of my own. So I was looking at some crazy stuff, and I thought this king march idea was very clever and very cool. And it's actually, I blame Jan Marcos, Grandmaster Jan Marcos, and his book Under the Surface, because there's a whole chapter on king marches and how they end up working out when you control the right squares. So I kind of believed in it. It backfired, obviously, and I got completely toasted with my king in the open. And yeah, I lost the game. But it got me thinking that actually this is, and I mean, you hear a lot about confidence is one of the most important things to be like a strong chess player. And I think I had too much confidence this game, actually, because I was basically feeling it like I was on 2 out of 4, 1 win, 2 draws, and a loss, all against higher rated opponents. So I was playing a good tournament, right? And I was playing this guy. He's basically been tilting. He used to be like close to 2200. He's down to like below 2000 now. And I thought that like, you know, I'm playing so well. I'm calculating well. I believe wholeheartedly that knight AC2 should be good, so I should play it. I should keep the piece up. But it kind of brought back memories that I actually came to a conclusion like around a year ago, I think, when I was playing a bunch of classical chess, that it's actually, I should know my limitations, right? And in that position, h takes g6 was perfectly fine, followed by this idea of playing, I think like knight c2, knight d4. Was that the point? And get this knight on d4, and it actually, not only is it an outpost, it also supports b5. So this line, I mean, I just would have had a good game. I mean, I think I looked at this line up to knight d4, but I didn't realize it supported b5, and I was also too tempted by this, keeping this piece up, right? But I think like this is the thing. Like I've also made this remark that a lot of Indian juniors, their strongest suit is actually calculation, right? And maybe I had the wrong logic here. Like I had this idea that maybe he's trying to call me out as a chicken and basically hope that I just play h takes g6 and get away with it. But I think that's more of like an adult experienced player would try a trick like that, whereas an Indian junior is probably just calculating and believes that it works, right? I don't think they're thinking that deeply. Of course, this is a generalization. Of course, there are some Indian juniors who are experienced enough and are like being tricky, right? Of course, but I'm just saying in general terms. And I think maybe I could have thought about this a bit harder before playing knight c2, because actually, you know, to defend that position, it wasn't easy at all. I missed stuff, and even though I've been practicing a lot my calculation and improving my calculation, I felt like I made a much better effort than I would have at any point in my chess career, right? But still wasn't good enough because the position was too difficult. And I should be more realistic about that and just not take that piece up and just play the resulting endgame where we have equal material but my pieces are slightly better. So yeah, I just thought that was a very interesting situation that I thought I should document. So I'm now on 2 out of 5. To be honest, like losing this game isn't the worst thing ever, because I'm still going to be playing up for the last 2 rounds probably, and I'll be effectively playing players who are weaker than I would have done it had I won this game. So it's definitely not all bad in terms of like my performance. Like if I'm going to lose a game in the last 3 rounds, it's best that I lose this one as opposed to the last round, for instance. Of course, you know, I might lose the next 2 rounds, and then obviously I would prefer, you know, having won this round instead of losing this round. But anyway, these are my thoughts. So yeah, really interesting. And I think I'm very glad that I'm actually playing this tournament, because had I not, I think those 18 rounds in a row would have been absolutely brutal. Like it was a good reminder of what classical chess requires in terms of like your energy, your mental, your physical, which means that like over the next couple months I might have a better chance of like you know, preparing physically, mentally, energy level wise, you know. So I think this was definitely a good shout to play, and I have Caius to blame for that, or maybe Caius to thank, because he was like, yeah, what are you doing playing 18 rounds of chess in the summer, you idiot, without any practice. Yeah, so yeah, it's been good. I don't know if there are any other conclusions I want to draw from this tournament so far. Yeah, I don't know. Classical chess is an interesting one. Like, I mean, you know, I still have these like faint hopes of one day reaching 2200. I think as a player, I'm still too inconsistent. As a human being, I'm still too inconsistent to be able to reach those 2200 heights. I do think though, from the people I've spoken to, I feel like my understanding as a chess player is not far off being 2200 strength. Maybe it's already there, but it's just like these other kind of more like concrete aspects like calculation, tactical ability, these kind of like raw chess abilities as opposed to chess understanding. that's kind of what's still lacking, but it is improving. It is improving. So I think there's definitely hope. And yeah, I'm gonna be playing chess for a long time. So yeah, we'll just have to try my best. So 2 more rounds, basically one afternoon round. If you happen to ever visit Kenilworth, I would highly recommend going to Kenilworth Castle. I haven't actually been in, but I've seen it from a distance. I walked around the park. It's a very nice park. And I would also highly recommend this Italian place called La Ari. I'm going to go there for lunch now. And yeah, it was really good yesterday, so I'm going to eat there again. But yeah, on that note, I will call it a day. And yeah, hopefully you found that interesting. So 2 more rounds to go. All the games are live on Lichess. I probably will be uploading this after the event, unless I decide to just upload it pretty raw without much editing, because obviously I don't have much time to edit right now. But yeah, on that note, thank you guys for following my chess lifestyle, and yeah, shout out to the YouTube members and Patreon subscribers. You guys make this journey much better and give me much more motivation to post videos and stuff. So thank you for watching, and see ya. Bye.